Oh, I know we can do a better job than that. We're here to celebrate. Good morning, Washington, D.C. All right, that's better. So we are so honored that this day has come. I want to say good morning to some really important guests that really made this happen first. Our mayor of our great city, Muriel, really was her vision for this campus to lead us to this day. Please give her a round of applause for all she's done as she's going to speak to us today. We will also hear from Congresswoman Norton, who's been a champion, obviously, on the Hill for us, and we'll hear from her later today. And then our council member here from Ward 6 is also here, Charles Allen. Please give him a round of applause as well. So Chinyeti, our amazing Vice President of Marketing Communications, introduced me, and we have a great team, and I'll speak about them a little bit later. But we also have a great board that really has set the tone and vision for us. We're excited, and you also hear for the chairman of our board, who really has been the one who's led our board and led us, and Max Brown is here. Please give him a round of applause as well. And he'll be speaking shortly in a few moments. We're going to have lots of great people here to share some remarks, but I want to thank the community for all their participation and hard work to make this day happen today. If it wasn't for you and all the good feedback and the tireless hours we spent together, we would have never realized this dream. And this dream has converted all this asphalt to action. So we now have amazing fields that our community is going to enjoy. You're going to hear a lot more about it, but we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the sincere work and effort, and hopefully that you'll enjoy this dream that we've realized together. That's right. So as you can see, you'll get a taste of it. We obviously have 3 amazing fields, this wonderful pavilion here today, but also a playground as well. We think about the vision that will happen, and there might be lots of different activities at here, but first and foremost at its core is how the community is going to enjoy this space. So to hear a little bit more about that vision and about how we came to this place, I want to introduce again and have him give some remarks, our amazing chair of our board, Mr. Max Brown.
I always use this line, but I always have to move the mic down after Greg speaks. Good afternoon, everybody, or good morning still. Again, I am Max Brown, chair of the Board of Events DC, and today's ribbon cutting and dedication of these fields really does mark a new day for the RFK campus and community. And this is an important day for our city. I want to recognize and acknowledge Greg for all the good work he does, our board of directors, John Boardman, Ty Simpson, and Denise Rolark Barnes are here. They've been instrumental. Thank you guys very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Mayor Bowser for her steadfast leadership and vision for this site. Mayor Bowser, thank you so much for your leadership. Our tireless advocate on Capitol Hill, Eleanor Holmes Norton, who used to give me the business when I worked for Tony Williams. Congresswoman, thank you for all that you do. Councilmember Charles Allen, who has represented this community for a long time and has been passionate and been an advocate for what we're doing here today. Charles, thank you for all that you do. Our advisory neighborhood commissioners from Ward 6 and 7, our friends at CRISP, the National Park Service, and the Kennedy family. Let's give them all a round of applause. I also want to acknowledge and thank our friends at DC United and 2 folks who came here today, goalie Bill Hamid and Wayne Rooney. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm really a Tottenham fan, but we won't get into that. As many of you know, and let me just take a second to acknowledge the legacy of Robert Kennedy. I think sometimes we forget the campus is named after the senator and attorney general. He was an important figure in the history of this country. He stood for leadership and equality, fighting for those who needed help, and he's remembered here today. He was optimistic about this country and its future. And while we are here to celebrate just a modest contribution to our city, it reminds me of a quote from Bobby Kennedy. The purpose of life is to contribute in some way to making things better. And as an avid sportsman himself and football player, we hope that Bobby Kennedy would love what we are doing here today, making a small contribution to make life better. Now, quickly, you asked that we delivered 27 acres of asphalt into these amazing fields. Yes. One of our goals when I came on the board was, how do we leverage the assets we have? 190-acre campus, asphalt has now turned into community fields, soccer fields for the community. Mayor, thank you again for your guidance and support. This project would not happen without you. Quickly, we've worked closely with the community over the last 3 years. I think oftentimes people say we work closely with the community. We actually did. We had rounds of meetings, workshops, discussions, conversations, came to consensus not just on this project, but on a vision for sports and entertainment on this entire campus. The city's flourishing. 22 million visitors every year come here to visit our diverse neighborhoods that celebrate all we have to offer. And it's fitting that it's Pride Month. We are a diverse city and we celebrate it. At Events DC, we continue to launch programs and initiatives that strive to better serve the city's neighborhoods by bringing economic opportunity and entertainment to the city. Again, thank you all for coming out here today. I will shut up so you can hear from our mayor who made this all possible, really. Our mayor, Mayor Muriel Bowser.
Well, good morning, everybody. We are so excited to be here to help open this wonderful community asset. I want to share the thanks of all 700,000 of us in Washington, D.C. to the Events D.C. team for bringing us this wonderful, wonderful new asset. So Max Brown, Greg Odell, and team, and the entire board of directors for Events D.C., please stand up and be acknowledged. Please stand up and be acknowledged. I, too, want to thank all of the community people who have been involved. I think that I began to hear calls and planning for community fields in this location when I was still on the council. And I want to acknowledge the former council member for Ward 6 and now DOEE Director Tommy Wells for all of his work in Ward 6. And the Ward 6 council member, Charles Allen, for help pulling this project over the line. Give it up for Charles Allen. I also want to acknowledge our wonderful Ward 7 communities led by Councilmember Vince Gray and all the ANC commissioners from Ward 7. Yay, Ward 7. And I just want to also let everybody know that we made these types of investments with Events DC support because this is an all 8 wards asset. One thing that we've seen, and I told Wayne Rooney when we welcomed him to Washington, D.C., that soccer is a growing sport in our city. Young people, girls playing soccer, boys playing soccer, and all of us supporting DC United. Let's hear it for our team. The fields at RFK are certainly a sight for sore eyes, and this is one of our projects that I did not come and look at throughout the construction. So when I walked in, I was just blown away. It looks like a real amusement park in some ways. That is sport, that is entertainment, and that is recreation. And we have recaptured land in Washington, D.C. With Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton's leadership, we have been able to recapture more and more of our land for D.C. residents. Thank you, Congresswoman Norton. And I'll share another famous quote from Senator Robert Kennedy. that is very instructive of what has been accomplished here. And it also gives us a challenge for what we can do in our entire city. He said, "Some men see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not." And while we're talking about ball fields today, we can talk about how we shape and grow our city for all Washingtonians. And today we are cutting the ribbon on the fields that can be used by the community for soccer, lacrosse, baseball, softball, and much more. We have a playground, picnic area, walking and biking paths, and improved access to our beautiful river. And this is just the beginning. Earlier this year, our Congresswoman introduced a bill to fully convey the stadium campus to the District of Columbia at fair market value. A full land conveyance will give D.C. the freedom and flexibility to develop the site with the needs of the community first and foremost. Our city, we know, needs housing for our seniors and longtime residents struggling to afford housing, for our young professionals and growing families so that D.C. continues to be their first choice. Our city needs jobs and amenities for every D.C. resident. And we know that we want all of the things that will support our growing neighborhoods. These are the things our city needs and wants for our RFK. And we know what's possible when we look around at the Navy Yard, at Walter Reed, at the wharf. And we know we can recapture that spirit right here. So today we're delivering on two commitments: making RFK a complex that is accessible and, more importantly, useful for D.C. residents. And we're working towards our vision to create a great destination that is bigger than one field or stadium, and a destination that reflects what our community needs and wants. Through smart planning and creativity, we know we can have it all: the amenities of a big city, a vibrant waterfront, and plenty of green space for us all to enjoy. So I want to once again thank the community for staying invested in this project for over a decade. And I want to especially thank leaders of our D.C. soccer community. And we have asked Wayne Rooney to accept this on behalf of D.C. United. Please join me at the podium, Wayne. Good to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
So this is just the thank you, and we say as mayor, I say as mayor of Washington, D.C., it's my pleasure to extend our gratitude to Wayne Rooney, a major leader in our sports capital. With yours and D.C. United's tremendous support, we are able to cut the ribbon today on 3 new recreational fields here at RFK. We are collectively reimagining this site and have successfully transformed 27 acres of asphalt into a sports complex, including great amenities for here in Ward 6 and Ward 7 and for all 8 wards. On behalf of all 702,000 of us and growing, I want to thank you for being involved and staying devolved and focusing on DC youth. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Rooney.
Hi everyone. No, I just want to say it's driving past the fields every day. We train obviously not far away, and only a few months ago we were driving past and there was nothing here. So to be here today and see the improvement and to see how great it is here, and I think personally as someone coming in from England to see the growth over here for the children is really impressive. And as the Mayor said, for both men and women and boys and girls, it's really important. So it's important that we try and encourage the children to keep playing soccer. In my opinion, it's the best sport in the world, and no, it's fantastic. It's great for us, myself and Bill, to be here today and enjoy this special occasion. So hopefully we'll see a lot of children over the next weeks, months, years improving their soccer skills and who knows, hopefully being the next superstar for the US team. So thanks again everyone for coming. It's been fantastic to be part of this event, and hopefully everyone enjoys it. Thank you.
He's humble, but he's a beast, everybody. Give another round of applause for Wayne Rooney. All right, we're going to keep the program going. Obviously, the mayor has done an incredible job of putting Washington, D.C. on the map. Well, let's always remember Washington, D.C. is the seat of our federal government. And we have no better leader who's been a champion for so many years and helps us realize the vision of our city. Please give a big round of applause for Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton.
Okay, DC, I understand that only this podium stands between you and those soccer balls. So I'm going to make this brief, but I am charged with seeing to it that DC gets not only these magnificent 27 acres, but gets the whole 190 acres for RFK Stadium. So I just want to thank Mayor Bowser and our council member and Events DC for what you have done to make sure we make the highest and best use of this little bit of 190 acres, mostly parking lots, that it calls itself RFK Stadium. While I am moving to get the federal government to accept the city's really very good offer, the city doesn't say just give us the stadium. The city has made an offer to buy the entire RFK site at fair market value. That's fair, and that's particularly fair for the city that's about to become the 51st state of the United States of America. So I applaud what the mayor and Events DC has done with this small amount of the land. And the only reason we can use this land is that RFK is to be used only for recreational purposes. Well, if you look at the 190 acres, you would say, are all those parking lots recreational purposes? No is the answer. So what you've seen DC do is to convert what we can convert into soccer fields and baseball diamonds and bleachers and a picnic area and playgrounds. Now, what I am trying to do is to move the legislation I've already introduced. Now, there are some members of both parties who are stuck on the notion that RFK is a park and not essentially a parking lot. This area, this set of parking lots comes under the jurisdiction of the federal government. And the federal government's policy is not to sell park land. Well, I am here to inform the government that almost none of this was park land, and the district is going to preserve green space when it gets this land. Many members are hung up on that notion. They do not understand that we have a laborious process that the mayor and the city council will take us through before deciding the use of this land. So DC's river cutting of 27 acres really shows good faith to the federal government. That we're not going to just take this land and use it in ways that they think violates federal law. And it suggests DC is serious about the uses that can be made. The mayor has already talked about affordable housing and commercial development, and she has emphasized green space. This is the most valuable tract of land in D.C. that it remains unsettled. My bills are developing the wharf and the Capitol Riverfront as I speak. Today affords a prime example. It is a virtual demonstration project of what the district intends to do with this land. Congress's suspicion notwithstanding, we must not let this valuable tract of land go unused any longer with no investment by the federal government, only the investment that D.C. has been willing to step up and make today. No revenue comes from the federal government. We have nothing to lose by selling this land to the District of Columbia. And I pledge to you and to the families on Capitol Hill, my own Capitol Hill community, have been yearning for soccer fields and play fields. I pledge to you that we are going to get this thing done in the District of Columbia, even before you become the 51st state.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Thank you for all of your leadership as well. I feel like I should give a little bit more love to them too, but also our own from DC United, from the DMV, Bill Hamid. You all, for all the soccer players who are here local, that's what you can aspire to be from the DMV, an amazing player. So just make sure you can realize your dream right here in the DMV as well. So before we bring up our last speaker, I want to quickly thank the project team and all the people who actually did some of this amazing work to make this field come to fruition. So MCM was our construction management team. HCM was our designer, and Bula was the engineer. And then Brailsford and Dunley was also our program management team. Please give a big round of applause for all of them, for all the work to bring this to fruition. I just want to quickly thank some members of my team from our project management team, Rob Stowe, Ryan Conway, also from our marketing communications team, Chinyeti, Ashley, and then Jennifer Lawrence. Please give them a round of applause and all their teams that support them. They really are the backbone of our organization to make it work. So our final speaker has been a champion for this community. He's been a great partner for all the things we've helped realize on this campus and also in this community. I don't have to introduce you, know him well, but I'll do it anyway. Please give a big round, warm welcome for Charles Allen, the council member from Ward 6.
Thank you so much, everybody. I've been told I only have about 30 minutes to speak, so I'll try to keep it brief. I couldn't be more thrilled to be here. I was thinking back on it. It was probably about 9 years ago that I sat down with Tommy Wells, with Mike Barrett, Mike Godek, Ziad, this incredible team of folks, and we started trying to think about what could this space look like, what could we do differently here? Because let's be honest, these were oceans of asphalt and giant parking lots that were not serving our city in the way they could. Every time it would snow, we'd pile it up with ice and snow, and it would run off into the river. There was not a positive thing happening here. And there was a different vision that was starting to get created, something that could bring us together, something that could bring Ward 6 and 7 together right here on the boundary. And what I'm excited about is that we worked on this for a long time. But it really wasn't until we had Mayor Bowser, till we had Max, till we had Greg, till we had the whole team decide that this was what we were going to do. And I'm really grateful for that because it feels like this happened really fast. Just in November, these were parking lots. But it took years to get here, but it wouldn't have happened without their commitment and leadership. So thank you guys so much. Let's give them another round of applause. And the reason that this is so important, I was talking with another parent this morning, and they may have already had to head out, but in a little bit they're headed out to Chantilly, Virginia for a soccer tournament. And families all across D.C. leave D.C. to be able to go have amenities like this. And so making the commitment that that tournament that's taking place in Chantilly, I don't even know where Chantilly is. I think you got to get a passport to get out there. But this is going to happen right here now, in our backyard, right here at home, and bringing these things into our community is just going to be a phenomenal part of our city. It's going to be a great way that our neighborhood comes together. My kids have already been on the playground this morning, and we could barely peel them out off of it. The fact that it's on just right across the river and on the shores of the Anacostia River and with Kingman Island, this is going to be a destination. It's going to be an incredible place for us to come. But to have these soccer fields back here as well, and there's a lot of activities going to happen here, but soccer in particular, as I look at Bill Hamid and Wayne Rooney, because the next Bill Hamid and Wayne Rooney is out there right now who wants to get onto this field. The next, Alex Morgan, is out there ready to play on these fields. And so this is the type of thing that helps build out our city, helps support our families as they are going to continue to grow here and call D.C. home. So I'm really excited, really thrilled to be here. I want to congratulate everybody. I want to let, I also am supposed to let our Boy Scouts know that we're going to do the color guard in just 1 second, so they're ready. And then I just want to say thank you. And again, let's celebrate today. I hope I'm going to see you out here probably every weekend because I'm a few blocks away, so I'm going to be here as well. So thank you, everybody. I'm going to bring up Max and Greg back up.
All right, I promise we're almost done. So quickly, now that we're finally finishing construction, we're going to get to our operations phase. And we've hired a great partner for us. You all have known them in the community. They've worked with us just to realize this dream, but now they're going to be our operator. So please give a big round of applause for the Chris Group, who's going to be our wonderful operator for these fields. I know we've thanked many of the community members and all of the ANCs, but I want to especially acknowledge the ANC for which we're here in her district. Commissioner Blair, thank you, please, for joining us. We appreciate it. And so now it's time to make it official. We're going to have, and it's only appropriate that we have kids doing our flag presentation. So please give the biggest welcome yet for Cub Scouts Pack 380 to do their flag presentation. Please join us.
Will the audience please rise? Color guard, forward march. Color guard, post the colors. Scout salute. 2. Color guard retreat. Please be seated.
Well done, well done. So this time we're going to now do the ribbon cutting. Mayor, if you would join us, Congresswoman, if you would join us, Councilmember, our esteemed colleagues from DC United, our board members, and Commissioner, please, if you join us for the ribbon cutting, please. If everyone would sit tight after we do the ribbon cutting, then we would welcome all the kids, everyone on the field. But right now, we'll do the ribbon cutting. Bill.